Welcome back to my channel, guys. This is your girl, Miss Baby Dawta. Thank you so much for stopping by, for sharing your time with me. I really appreciate every single second that you spend watching this video. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And just beside that, hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload any video, you are first to be notified. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to do, and that is crying. Bawling. Yes, I love ball, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why in a few moments. Okay, so just bear with me, stick it through, and just be open and receptive to my reasons for bawling, crying. Yeah. Okay, so aside from the health benefits that crying gives you, when you cry, you moisturize your. So I'm gonna read to you from Google some of the benefits of crying, okay? So, crying has a soothing effect. It is self soothing when people cry. It also helps you to get supports from others. Maybe you want to call it a pity kind of thing. But the truth is that if you are crying, somebody is more likely to say, "Hey, what's happening? Do you want to talk? What can I do to help?" So, yeah. It helps to relieve pain. If you cry, you don't feel the pain anymore. I don't know, right? It helps to enhance the mood. It relaxes toxins and relieves stress. It aids sleep. Yes, you ever cry yourself to sleep? Yep. It fights bacteria. When something like get caught in your eye and you start to have the tears build up, and it actually helps to remove whatever is caught in your eye. And of course, if there's already bacteria or whatever, it washes it out, pretty much like you would do an eye bath. That's what you call, like, you run your eye, you wash your eye in warm salty water or something like that. Yeah. And it also helps to improve your vision. Now, we all know that the eye, well, I think the eye needs to remain moist, so every now and then you just need to cry. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my top 3 reasons why I love to cry. Yes, I love to cry. But if you know me personally, you actually do know that I cry a lot. I cry as a way to get myself together, you know? Like, something is really getting me down, I'm frustrated about something, I will cry. I will go into a corner and just bawl. Yes, I cry a lot. I cry a lot because it helps me to, gather my thoughts and to just come back, in a better position to deal with whatever situation I am going through, right? In doing that, it helps me to relieve stress. So that's number 2 thing. It helps me to relieve stress because I can tell you the tension that I may be feeling when I'm there, before I start crying. The tension I may be feeling because of the situation I'm in, and I can't do nothing about the situation. I'm getting angry. Yeah, I do get angry if I can't do something about something. So, and because I can't do anything about it at the time, I may not be physically present, whatever the situation is, then I start to cry. And when I stop crying, I actually do feel a little bit better, or a lot better, because, I have come to terms with, listen, you can't do nothing about it. Let it go, or let it stay until you can do something about it. But here's what you can do in the meantime. Let's try this, let's try that. And then, we can always go again. Okay, as for the soothing effect, that's my number 3 reason. It really is soothing. When you're crying, or when I am crying, I don't care who is around me. I don't care what your thoughts are. All I know is that my tears are helping me to relax, to become calm, to just say to me everything is going to be okay. My tears are telling me everything is going to be okay. My tears are telling me, listen, somebody's hearing. Somebody's going to do something about it. Something is going to happen. The situation is going to change for you. So when I cry, I get that soothing, I just feel good, relaxed, stress free. Yeah. I hardly cry to get the attention of anybody. Like, I'm not crying because I want you to come over and say, "Oh, what's going on?" Even though that is a benefit, because when you do cry, like I had said earlier, then somebody more than likely will come and say, "What's going on with you? You okay?" Stuff like that. But I don't cry for that reason. You understand? I don't cry for that reason. But people ask me what happened to me when I cry, and it's okay. You know, it also helps because at that point, maybe if you want to talk about it, then that person is more willing to listen to what's going on, other than you just walking up to somebody and say, "Listen, do you have a minute? I want to talk about something." And they may or may not have that minute, and if they don't have that minute, interestingly, 5 minutes later you're there crying, that same person will come back and say, "Hey, sorry, what's going on? Sorry I didn't have the time earlier, but I do have the time now." Even if they don't have the time now, they might make the time now because them say you're ball now, and they're giving you that attention. So crying does that. But for me, like I said, it's about, relieving the stress and the tension, getting me into a better mood, and also it's also self-soothing for me. Yeah, for me. Okay, so I grew up in a society, you know, where crying is not something we do, especially openly. We are brought up, under the premise that, if you cry, you're weak. So in order to show strength, you have to, not cry. You have to take it like a man, or tough it out, or suck salt through wooden spoon. And that's a proverb that we use in Jamaica, or a terminology we use in Jamaica. Suck salt through wooden spoon, for me, means that you just have to do what you have to do until better comes. Basically, that's what it is, right? Because you don't have any control over the situation. That's what it means to me. So we are taught, to just hold on to whatever it is and not cry. Don't show any weakness, because crying is a sign of weakness. Now, I'm not saying everybody's taught that in our culture. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying this is my experience. Yeah, it is my experience, and I'm Jamaican, so therefore it was, I learned it in Jamaica, based on some persons had, the opportunity not to have had those experiences where they are being encouraged more than anything else not to cry, not to show weakness. But let me just spare a few minutes here to tell you why I think crying is important and why I think it's not a sign of weakness. Again, I just want to welcome you to my video, to my channel. I thank you so much for stopping by. I know your time is very valuable, so I do appreciate every single second that you have been here. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. Remember to hit the notification bell so that you are aware of whenever I upload a video. Okay, so let's get back to it. So we're talking about crying, right? Bawling. We call it bawling. So bawling is not something that is encouraged then, to say the least. So if you know me, I bawl for everything. If me hair want wash, I'm gonna have a time for wash it, my bawl. If you shout at me, I'm gonna be crying. Yeah. If you are rude to me, disrespectful, I'm gonna be crying. If I miss somebody, I'm gonna be crying. If I can't respond to you in that moment when you have said something to me or done something to me, I'm going to cry. If I feel offended by what you have done or said, I am going to cry. If I reach out to you about something and you blow me off, I'm gonna cry. If I order something online and it not come, I'm ready for ball. Yeah, I'm just a crier. Me no know, cry, cry, baby, moonshine, darling. I'm just a crier, right? But because a lot of us have not had this crying or mantra, Because what I explained to you, that crying for me, it helps me to soothe, the mood. It helps me to relieve stress and toxin, and just to regroup, or to it gives me a chance to think through what it is I am going through, right? I remember in 2018 something happened to me, and something was taken from me, and I thought to myself, this is the worst thing that could ever happen. Why it had to happen to me is the worst thing that ever happened to me. And for days I cried. For days, at least 3 days, I cried. And I cried the most when I went into the shower, because I was in the shower and the tears obviously would just be washed away. Nobody would know I'm crying, even if somebody came inside, right? So the tears were there, just there, rolling down, and the shower washing it away and stuff. And I cried. And I cried myself into acceptance of what that situation was. And not only acceptance of what the situation was, but I cried myself into the benefits of that event that happened, right? Yeah, I cried myself into the benefits of the event, right? And today, I'm happy I cried because I was able to deal with the situation back then, and I don't have it, like hovering over me here in 2020. So crying for me, then it healed. Yes, it's like a healing process for me. I accepted what the situation was. I also worked out ways to move forward from the situation and to heal, to let it not, like take control of my life, because I had to. I had to let it go. So I'm grateful for those 3 days that I cried. Could have been more, but let's leave it at 3 days, because, like I tell you, I love all. No, a lot of us don't give ourselves permission to do certain things, including crying, right? And today, I just want to say, give yourself permission to cry. Give yourself permission to bawl, because it can be therapeutic. It can be. Give yourself permission to cry when something is not going your way. It's okay. Give yourself permission to cry when you have tried something and you have failed at it. Give yourself permission to cry, because the next time you try, you will succeed. Give yourself permission to cry if you have lost a loved one. Yes, they may not be coming back, but in those moments, in those tears, you can relive memories, things that you would have accomplished together, with that loved one. Give yourself permission to cry if you have lost something that's material, but it was dear to you. It's okay. Give yourself permission to cry. Who knows? Maybe you will be able to replace whatever that is. Maybe you won't, but it's okay. Give yourself permission to cry. Give yourself permission to cry just because you can't answer the person there who says something to you or hurt you to the core. Bawl. Give yourself that permission to cry, to get rid of that anger, that anger that if you not bawl, man, and you catch that smarty there, you know what I'm saying, right? Give yourself that permission to cry, to be able to deal with and to calm down and to change your mood. Yeah. Give yourself permission to cry, because crying is therapeutic, because crying is healing, because crying is not an indication of how weak you are, but an indication of the strength that you possess to withhold from doing what it is you would do in the blink of an eye if you didn't think about it. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of your commitment to try again, regardless of the fact that you have failed 1,000 times. Give yourself permission to cry. When you have committed to something, a relationship, a friendship, a job opportunity, whatever it is, you have committed to something that is no longer working out and you feel like this is the end of the road, bawl. Because when you open your eyes, you will see endless opportunities. Yes, you will see enough road where you can take enough more opportunities facing you. So give yourself that permission to cry. Give yourself permission to cry when you say that person there, my friend, betray me bad, me hurt, ball. Because guess what it hurts? Give yourself that permission to cry. Maybe, just maybe after you're crying, you might find it in your heart to forgive that person and to be able to move on. And I say you must forget. We're not talking about forgiving and forgetting. I'm talking about forgiving or accepting the situation as it is and be able to move on without it affecting you, without you having to bawl every day, every day, every day, every day. So give yourself that permission to cry. Give yourself permission to cry when the odds are against you, when it looks like you going east and everything is going west and you feel drained out, frustrated, annoyed. Bawl. Bawl. Give yourself permission to cry. It's okay. It is okay to cry. Give yourself permission to cry. And if you think crying was all bad, well, it's not, okay? Give yourself permission to bawl when that deal you have been working on finally came through for you. Bawl. Give yourself permission to cry when finally, yes, the process you've been working on, you've done this application, you send it in, you do your interviews and everything, and 1 whole year you're waiting. Bam. Them say, come ready for you. Position ready for you. 1 whole year now. Yeah. Bawl. Give yourself permission to cry when your children, your family members, your friends, they have accomplished something and you are proud. Give yourself permission to cry. Give yourself permission to cry when your friends them say, listen, I'm going to take you on a trip, all expenses paid. I need some friends. But give yourself permission to cry because you've worked hard. You've been a good friend. You've been committed and dedicated. You've been there for your family, for your friends. You've given yourself. And now, be open, be receptive, and give yourself permission to cry when good things are happening. Because crying is not always bad. Because you see somebody crying don't mean that they're hurting. It don't mean that them fail at something. It don't mean them want attention. Sometimes those tears are tears of joy, tears of contentment, tears of thank God me never did do that. Yeah, thank God me did keep my skin quiet. Thank God me never did make that choice. Thank God say my sister get through with her little application or job. Yeah, thank God say the house closure. Yes, everything. I have my own house there. I have my own keys. Yes, sometimes these tears are joyful tears, contentment tears, tears of, making that right decision. Give yourself permission to cry. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to cry. What you don't do is give yourself permission to sink into situations by crying. Don't give yourself that room to cry yourself into an unhealthy state of being. Yes, but nothing wrong with bawling. Trust me, I do it a lot, and I just want you to just give yourself permission to cry. If you're frustrated, if you're annoyed, if you're angry, if you have failed at something, and failing doesn't mean you don't go back and try again. Give yourself permission to cry if you're contented, if you're happy, whether it's for yourself or somebody else, whatever it is. If you have to cry, cry. right? So remember now, give yourself permission to cry. So thank you again for stopping by. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing your time with me today and for watching this video. Remember, go ahead, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your family and your friends, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and always be notified whenever I upload these awesome videos, okay? So today, me give myself permission for cry, me give myself permission for bawl, me give myself permission for Allah, me give myself permission for just let go. What about you? Thank you so much for watching.